Hi, I'm Mandy McKay. I'm a professional artist, and I'm going to be giving you tips to help enhance your creativity, whether you're an artist or an aspiring artist, or you just want to take up some kind of a creative hobby. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to harvest your dreams for good ideas. And I wasn't sure whether I should go ahead and do this video just because sometimes these helpful tips from your dreams, these helpful ideas can be few and far between, but I actually dreamed that I was supposed to do this video next. So here we go. Now, I probably get an idea maybe once a month, and it's usually just an image, but since I am a visual artist predominantly, that's enough to be helpful. My husband, the songwriter, will dream entire lyrics, entire songs. And I went on a wild ride one time from just a single image in a dream a long time ago. I dreamt that there was a bronze sculpture of a horse coming up out of the ground, and I had sculpted it. Now, this didn't lead me to become a bronze sculptor, but I actually wound up writing a novel about an artist who becomes a sculptor, and then I turned that into a screenplay. And I mean, nobody like purchased the book or made that into a movie, but I wound up doing stage plays because of this, and that was a lot of fun, and I would love to do that again, except it was extremely time consuming. But anyway, I am going to tell you how you can make it more likely that you can harvest your dreams for good ideas for your creativity. Now, the first thing is making sure that you can remember your dreams really well. And otherwise, it's not going to be very helpful. Now, I've always been pretty good at remembering my dreams, but what will really make it easier for you, whether you're already there or not, it'll help you get better at remembering your dreams, is to try keeping a dream journal for just a few weeks. Just a notebook. When you get up, jot down, whatever you remember. And it's not that this is necessarily that you're getting good ideas right off the bat. It's just training your brain. It's signaling to your brain that remembering is important. I started doing this when my deceased father began appearing in dreams, and I didn't want to forget, so I would take a few minutes in the morning and write down in my little dream journal anything I remembered. And at first it was just remembering like, okay, he showed up at my house or something like that. But then after a few weeks of doing this, I was remembering entire conversations that I was having with my deceased father in my dream. And that was really important to me. But so it just shows that you can start remembering a lot more if you try using a dream journal for a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Now, some other tips that will help you. Okay, first of all, when you're drifting off to sleep, set the intention that you're going to have some kind of a good idea. And, maybe you have a specific project that you're working on, and maybe you just want some helpful ideas with that. If you have something kind of in mind, you can just think about that as you drift off to sleep, but just set the intention that like, oh, I'm going to get some really great ideas in my dream. So that's the first step. Now, the second step is, are you able to go back to sleep after you wake up? Now, of course, that's a tricky one for most of us. That's when I tend to have the most helpful dreams, would be if I wake up a couple hours maybe before I'm supposed to get up and then I go back to sleep. Normally I have trouble going back to sleep, but when I do, usually that's when I'm going to have a dream that I will remember and that's going to be helpful. And so even the dream that told me to go ahead and do this video, that was after I woke up a little bit before I was supposed to get out of bed. And I was able to go back to sleep, and then that actually was something helpful that I dreamed. So that's the first thing, is set the intention, but then if you're able to go back to sleep after you've awakened, and it's in the early morning, that's when you are most likely to have something helpful that you're going to dream about. Now, a couple of other things is the position that you're lying in when you're sleeping. So if you lie on your right side, you are more likely to have probably helpful, good, happy ideas. If you lie on your back when you go back to sleep in the early morning, if you're more likely to have nightmares, which depending on what you're working on could be a good thing. If you're at all prone to sleep paralysis, like I am, that's pretty much only going to happen if you go back to sleep and you're flat on your back. I don't know why, but sleep paralysis is a condition where you think you're awake and you can't move. You're sort of half awake, I guess. And it can be terrifying, especially the first few times. But if you, for whatever reason, want to have a slightly scary dream, that's the best way, is sleeping on your back. You know, again, if you're trying to create a horror movie, that would be perfect. Now, if you want something more nice and friendly, don't sleep on your back if at all possible. Sleep on your side, especially your right side. And then you're more likely to have good dreams by most people's standards. And one other thing I do want to mention is, if you're one of those people that if you have a certain snack late at night, like say one of those microwave pizzas, and that causes vivid dreams, if you have some food like that, you can always give that a try, and, you know, see if it, I almost hate to say that, I hate to be saying, eat some really cheap pizza before you go to bed, but it's worth trying once or twice if your nutritional needs allow, because that might give you some really vivid and interesting dreams that will lead to something possibly very, very interesting, very beautiful, very magical. So give it a try. Use my tips. See if you know, give it a few weeks to see if it's working, and hopefully you'll be able to come up with something that maybe you wouldn't have thought of, your conscious mind wouldn't have thought of, but now your subconscious mind has thought of it. So anyway, if you find these helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be bringing you more creativity tips in the near future. Again, I'm Manda McKay. Thank you for watching.